new documents were produced to us finally in our litigation to try to get the records about what went on at that Clinton-Lynch Tarmac meeting. You remember the meeting that took place last year where Attorney General Lynch, then President Obama's Attorney General, coincidentally met with President Bill Clinton just shortly before Hillary Clinton was supposed to testify. And they met on Attorney General Lynch's airplane at the Phoenix airport in Arizona. It caused quite a scandal. The Justice Department went into cover-up mode or spin mode, however you want to describe it. And even the Attorney General Lynch described the meeting as something that cast a cloud over her investigation into the Clinton email matter. And certainly even James Comey was spooked by the communications between Lynch and Clinton at that sensitive time, and took it upon himself to pretend to be Attorney General for a time in an abusive way. So it really was a significant scandal, and one which is still reverberating today. As you know, there are still calls for an investigation, a criminal investigation of what went on there. But Judicial Watch doesn't wait for the government to do things. We do things independently. It's a great system we have here in the United States that allows groups like Judicial Watch to ask for information independently. It doesn't get to us as quickly and timely as we like sometimes, but we're still getting the documents. What happened here is we sued for the records after we were given the proverbial hand to the face by the administration, the prior administration. Actually, we sued under the current administration, so we got the hand to the face from both administrations. And we have finally gotten records. We got 2 batches of records. The first batch we got about a month ago. They showed communications between the media and the Justice Department about the Clinton-Lynch Tarmac meeting. The media started getting word of it. They started asking the Justice Department questions. So some back and forth there. Not terribly newsworthy, other than that seemingly the Washington Post and the New York Times wasn't terribly interested in covering this story. Surprise, surprise. It looked like they were kind of forced into it, the reporters were. They were almost apologetic in the emails about even asking the questions. But secondly, we got the big batch of documents just this week, and it's really outrageous because they just show, again, the media interest here in the investigation, and the Justice Department trying to figure out what the response is. And as they try to figure out what the response is, they are drafting talking points. And these talking points are really the method, that's what they use to talk about the case. So when Lynch is asked questions, when top Justice Department officials are asked questions, and yes, they're communicating with the FBI about this issue when the FBI is asked questions, they rely on these talking points. Well, the talking points are completely blacked out. You heard that right. They're blocked out. Again, they weren't blacked out by Attorney General Lynch. They weren't blacked out by James Comey. They weren't blacked out by Barack Obama. They were blacked out by the Justice Department, run by Attorney General Sessions, an appointee of President Trump. Isn't that outrageous? And the excuse they use to black the records out, they call it its redaction, the legal phrase is, it's under B5, and B5 is an exemption that you can invoke under FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, which allows government agencies to withhold information. And this B5 exemption allows the government to withhold information because it's deliberative, it's pre-decisional, it's draft. And so as a result, they don't want to chill government deliberations by releasing this material for fear of people whose ideas are cast aside or seen as foolish or not acted upon. They don't feel bad about themselves. They call it, they don't want to chill government deliberations by leaking information about them. If you're skeptical of that, I share your skepticism, because that is a giant loophole for keeping information away from the American people about cover-ups and other malicious and mendacious behavior by the federal government. And so it's really surprising and frankly jaw-dropping that the Trump administration is blacking out this key information about that infamous Clinton-Lynch Tarmac meeting. This is the information, these talking points are how they spun the scandal. And we can't get access to that under this Trump administration. They're making a discretionary call to black out this information. And frankly, President Trump should directly order the release of these records. That's what he should do. So you can go ahead online. I should have printed out a few to show you here. But go online or our website at judicialwatch.org and click on the release about the Clinton Lynch Tarmac records, and you can look at all the records we received. And you'll see where they're blacked out. And you're going to be furious about it. And it's the Justice Department who is withholding this information from us, again, run by the Attorney General of the United States, Jeff Sessions, appointed by President Trump. And it's terribly disappointing that now we are in August, the Justice Department is acting as if Hillary Clinton won the election, and acting in a way that continues to protect Hillary Clinton and the Obama administration. And it's got to change. It's got to change. And that's why we're in court, to force it to change and try to get around these battles. But the fact that we are in court battling the Trump administration on Clinton scandal information, to me, is just unbelievable. But nevertheless, we're going to keep on fighting, and we're going to get the information out, even if we're opposed by now Trump administration appointees in getting it done.